Do you know that feeling when you don't have enough of something to share and someone is asking you to share it or looking at you with like big doe eyes like, I'd like to try that. Try it. First of all, if you're a child and you want to try it, the answer is absolutely not because you're going to love it and I'm going to need to share more. I
ordered a portion for myself. Don't come at me with, oh, can I have a fry? People who don't order fries because they don't want fries and then eat your fries.
Don't get fries. No.
What are you doing? What are you doing? I actually had a coworker once. We would always go to this chili place on a special day of the week. It's the only day they'd offer it. They had fantastic garlic bread. It was insane, right? You order it separately. So we all order our garlic bread separately, and mine comes, and this colleague picks up my garlic bread and starts to eat it. And I look at him, and I say, did you want to order some garlic bread for yourself? And he goes, it's right here. And I said, no, that's mine. And he goes, it's here. And I said, order an order for you. And I told the waiter, he'll have an order of garlic bread. And when it came, I took it.
No more sharing.
Anyway.
No more kindness. No
more
joy.
No more teachers' dirty looks. I don't know where that's coming from.
I went to Into the Woods, and you went to
Into the
what
Woods.
was that? Meatballs?
Oh my gosh, with Broadway. Wait until you hear about my Broadway things. You should do an Count Me In.
Old Coots, human trafficking hero, and the chicken list. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do.
My favorite is all these goofy ass notifications that I'm getting are from Democrats saying, let me be perfectly clear. I would like you to give me $3. It's like, just stop it with your stupid, I want my $2. What was that movie? Better Off Dead?
Sure was. Oh. French fries. French dressing.
That's right, French. How bread. Are you, Melissa? You going to tell me how you are?
I'm all right. I mean.
Uh-oh.
Like running around with your hair on fire, holding onto your nads. Like what?
Oh, you just mean in the actual sense. I'm really working on trying to turn these off. It's difficult for me because here's why. This is why you're the producer. When I'm talking, I'm going to turn them off, I swear. When I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. I give you my all. I give you my everything. I don't look and have 18 things going. When I'm on a conference call, I'm not simultaneously knitting a sweater, feeding the dog, reading a novel, giving a presentation on another conference call. Like when I'm on it, I'm doing it. So,
and we all appreciate that. And when you're on, I'm assuming when you're on the lacrosse field, you're all in there to leave you alone.
It's very difficult for me to socialize. People are like, hey, I'll come and see you on this when you're in our market, and then won't that be great? And now let's have this deep philosophical long conversation. And I'm like, my kid is playing, and I just drove 9,000 hours to be here to watch my kid play. So I'll see you after, or shut up.
Not at all.
Right.
Or not at all.
Mom. Yeah,
Mom.
tough. Your allotted time is 45 minutes with pasta. That's it, right? And it's,
I got to tell you, that might be the name of my memoir.
45 minutes with pasta.
I mean, sounds good to me. I am all into 45 minutes with pasta. Dear listener, doesn't that sound good? Dear listener, what you don't know is Amy is on the road. She is currently at a tournament, and she is recording from I assume a hotel room where she has a view of the water, which is beautiful, where I get to look out at boats and water and the outline of her face like she is in witness protection, or on a 2020 interview where her identity is being hidden to protect the very, very guilty. How are you doing? How's the gaming? How's the whole travel summer of Amy is
Summer of Amy, summer of love. It's a mixed bag. I adore being here. I love going because the alternative is one of my kids and one of my husbands are gone, and that's it. So I would be by myself otherwise, which has its percolation as well, let's just say. So it's the mixed bag. I can't turn everything in my life off. We've been gone for, I don't know, 5 days. We'll be gone until tomorrow. We're not even leaving till tomorrow. So it's a big, long one this time. Multiple states, multiple tournaments, back to back, multiple hotels, moving, blah, 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 blah. So you're on a lot. And when you're not doing it, sadly, you're usually a little too tired to even really do anything else other than go back to the hotel and sleep. So it's nice that we have a pretty swank hotel this time. The games have worked out so that we could do walk around. Annapolis is beautiful. Walk around on the little streets, have fun. And just thank you, Annapolis. They have put the trans pride. Do you know the pride flags that also have that triangle in the corner? So
Sure.
They've done the most inclusive flag that you can do, and they have lined their little historic 1682 built cobblestone streets with these trans flags everywhere and just potted flowers. And it's like, oh, okay, nice. I get it. Great. So congratulations, Annapolis. That's fun. So
That's
from
nice
that respect,
to see,
it's nice. Yeah.
Considering it's a military town, that's really nice to
100%.
see.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I mean that felt good, and you know there's great seafood for everybody and all the rest of the things. So I really like that, but it's disruptive. It's, as you heard, even me trying to get my head around this idea of finding focus, which is what it's called on my computer for Do Not Disturb, was called something else before, so it took me a minute to find it. I found it, fuckers. So no more dings and dangs. But being on the road also creates the opportunity for heroes, because in a sickening twist, a teammate of ours was staying at a different hotel
Oh, no.
and checked in. It was just one of these regular, mid to low tier hotels, because you're just there to sleep and to shower off your stink and go straight back to the field. Got to the room, heard a whole bunch of jostling and horsing around and the next thing. And you always think it's kids because we come into towns en masse. So there's always tons of everyone our age just with different jerseys. So you sort of overlook, oh, is that a bomb? Is that fireworks in the hallway? What is
Somebody
that?
wrestling?
Yeah, is that an alligator that somebody's pulled into that? Like, you just let all the things go because you don't know what the fuck is going on, right?
Could be anything.
Could be anything.
It's
Heard this
mayhem.
jostling, didn't sound right, thought it was kids, starting to get pissed because it's like, okay, I just don't want to deal with your fucking kids. And they were jiggling the "we're in the room next to you" door. You know how some rooms have that?
The connection, yeah.
Yeah. They were jiggling, and it sounded like weird, probably like kids playing. So they were aware of this noise. They started to pay attention to this noise. It's just a single mom traveling with her kid. Comes to find out, they decided this was not kids. This was a woman. And this was not laughing. This was crying.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
no.
cut to, my gut tells me something's not right. I'm getting involved. Go to the front desk. Tell them, you have to come and check this out because I'm not comfortable. Front desk immediately calls the police. Police come. Right? Front desk is like, no, I'm glad you said something. Police come.
Let
And
me
then
check
it's-
with the hotel detective first.
Then it's silent. Silent. And the hotel did not allow them to switch rooms. So now that you drop a dime on these people doing who knows ever what the fuck they were doing that you call the cops, now you're going to stay next to them? I don't like this story now. I don't like it. But it had to have been human trafficking. It absolutely had to have been, because it was very weird, and just, I'm leaving out a few of the details. All of the sounds and all of can you imagine? So if they had not called, if they had just said, shut up, and pounded on the door, or gone out to dinner and hoped it was over, I mean, the world is just such a crazy place. It's a crazy place. Insane. So thank you for calling. Thank you for being aware of your surroundings. And stop trafficking people, guys. If you're a listener, let's not do that. Let's not do that, please. There are other ways that you can get humans. You don't need to traffic them. Don't do that. But just ask for things. People love to help, as we say.
Well,
all the
that's what
time.
Amy says. People love to help. I don't have a similar experience as Amy. But yeah, I really feel like that whole hair on fire, grabbing your nads, running around. It's a scary place, and I don't have a lot to say about. I have too much to say, I think,
about the state of the world. Is that
about
where
the
we're
state of the world? But I am not going to engage in that now, because there are other reasons why people turn to podcasts, and that's for joy and humor. And I think that being a hero next door to human trafficking is the joy part, not the humor.
So I'm glad I opened the show with that little anecdote.
I heard.
You'll cut it out.
I will not. I heard a greeting or a closing from somebody the other day when I was out of the house, and I'm now using it regularly. Maybe I heard it on TikTok and I used it at Target. Ready for this?
Yes.
I hope you have the day you deserve.
Oh, God. Ouch. Oh, my.
Yeah, I mean, it could be ouch, but I thought, thanks.
That's weird.
Because I like to follow my husband's lead and pay it forward or do nice things. And so I'm pretty confident that the day I deserve at this point, so far today, still early, very, very early.
Was this coming from a person who was probably treated like the Burger King worker in Las Vegas? Have you heard this story?
No.
So, airport Burger King employee.
Say no more.
Has never missed a shift
Aw.
in 37 years.
All at Burger King, huh?
Never missed a shift and came into work to
Company
receive
guy.
a thank you goodie bag in which there was an empty Starbucks plastic tumbler, 2 rolls of Lifesavers, and a bag of Reese's Pieces. Thanks.
For 37 years of
So
blind
his
faith?
coworkers were so pissed about this that they started a GoFundMe, which in 24 hours has raised $170,000
Oh,
for
wow.
this dude.
I mean, 37 years.
David Spade put $5,000 in the kitty for this. He was on the Today Show this morning. He's been flown to New York, and they were joking, and they said, well, you missed a shift for the first time to come be with us, and we're so grateful. And he's just crying and crying. Just a really humble guy. And I love it when somebody who deserves a big thank you gets one. And that's what happened. So, yay. Congratulations.
That's the whole karma theory, but I had been watching this guy on TikTok who does, for the first, I guess it is kind of the same. For the first person who's at all nice to him, he gives like $500 to $1,000. He's raised this money to just go out and do kind things. So he says to somebody in a library, can I sit here and talk to you for 5 minutes? I'm having a really bad mental health day. And he sits down to talk.
Okay.
And either somebody's like, no, I don't have, I'm sorry, I don't have time for this. Do you have $1 for the Subway? Or I'm missing 40 cents. I came to get diapers for my kid and I left my wallet at home. And all of these things when people are like, go fuck yourself. Sorry, I can't. I don't have time. That's fine. You don't have time. But those who do have time, it'll surprise you. Or usually the people who have even less.
Right.
And he winds up, as he phrases it, blessing them with $1,000 and I love seeing those. I love the even thought of putting good out there at that level. But it's rare, and again, I hope you get the day you deserve.
Well, it's such a profound little mind fuck.
It's loaded. It's definitely loaded.
Because if you wish to take it as an insult, you can.
Easily.
If you wish to take it as a challenge, you can. If you wish to take it as an affirmation, you can. If you wish to take it as a conversation starter, you can. But I mean, I feel like that's a whole lot of heavy for the transactional nature of this relationship. At a certain point, I kind of just want to buy these magazines and saran wrap and go home. Do I really
I
need...
did not come out to... I definitely think of which one of these humans would I be in these TikToks. I definitely do not leave the house to engage with other people.
Oh,
Ooh.
for fuck's sake, no. God,
right.
no.
So doing that has got to be in the first place. So I don't feel like I'd be one walking home with $1,000 is what I'm saying. I also don't feel like I would be one to say to anyone who ever said I'm having a mental health crisis, I would never say no. So
that's what I'm saying.
Could go either way.
You're such a pickle. You're such a weird little combo because you walk around like a spiky pineapple the whole time, like, fuck
Don't
you,
touch
fuck
me,
you,
go
no,
away. Yep.
fuck you. And then someone comes up and goes, rawr, and you're like, oh, come sit by me.
Come sit
I'm
by
a soft
me.
and cuddly little puppy
Yes,
dog.
exactly. And that's how I like it. Speaking of which,
You like being duplicitous, secretly soft?
I like the idea of appearing one way. And I went to the farmer's market that's only 4 hours long at the beach. So you have to get there at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 8 to 12 and it's
insane.
It needs to be longer. I did a little shop and I was with somebody who did not want to be there, who resented being there, was
His
wearing
name
a
Stuart. Oh,
black
her name
shirt.
is Mallory.
Yes,
Okay.
was wearing a black shirt, and it's hot, and I want to go home, and I can't believe you made me walk here. It was like 10 blocks away.
I don't like farms.
I don't. I bet you, actually, her comment was, I bet you nobody here has a farm. All of you people.
I bet the Chinese food is terrible.
You guys aren't real farmers. Yeah, she was so much fun to be with.
Are these pork rinds sustainable? Because
show me the pig. So while there, I got a few things that just brought back all the feels. But sitting and talking, there's an entire poster, and I'll put this up on Brill Ob Squad on Facebook. Listen Brilliant. You can go to Brilliant Observations on Facebook, or you can go to Instagram at Listen Brilliant, or Twitter at Listen Brilliant. We'll put this up there. There was a little booth. You know how they have all those little booths?
I love the booth.
One of them had a sign that said, Old Coots.
For sale?
Come sit and we'll give advice. Ask us anything.
No.
And I thought, retirement.
We're paging Tom Gray. So my question to you
Yes.
is, did they have that sign out in front with some provocative thing saying, blah, 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 poke the bear, convince me otherwise, right? Debate me. You've seen the meme. I'm ruining it. You know what I'm saying.
It's fight me.
Fight me.
It's the fight me meme. But no, they're just old coots. We're here to give advice. And I thought, I love, oh, there it is. I was going to show you the picture. And you're going to see my haul from there as well. This says what?
Oh, my God. Old Coots giving advice. They're little ladies.
And gents. There's a gent right
There's
there.
a gent there, but the two women, they have giant name tags. They have, looks like walkers, scooters, or those long sticks, the canes. And of course, friends, they're wearing this super black, super gigantic Terminator over the face sunglasses.
But look at this woman's hair too.
I see she's got unicorn hair. She's got super white Grammy hair. But then she's painted it with like purples and pinks and blues in there somewhere.
I feel like they have your advice, our advice. We'd love not to help, but
how much time did you spend there? Hours and hours?
I didn't, because I had, Satan and her sickle standing next to me who wanted to get the fuck out of there.
It's a perfect conversation starter. It's a perfect, hi, what do I do with this one?
Yeah, no
shit. And let their jaws loose.
All right, so while there, I picked up these little almond horn macaroon things. They were just melt in your mouth. The paste in the middle, not even a cookie, just paste with all of the sliced.
Oh my God,
almonds.
Those are next level. Guys, I love you. She's not doing it justice. Okay, so you know about these crescent almond cookies. These have been coated on the outside with soft and gooey caramel-like brown sugar bumpiness, and then in that, they have taken slivered roasted almonds and wedged it so that when you pick it up, you get the texture on the outside of all of those slivered almonds and the hit of sugar. Then you bite the cookie, which is just firm enough, and then it melts when your teeth sink into the middle of it.
And it
I
gets
don't know why
chewy.
you're here. I don't know why you're here and not just eating
because it's
a giant bathtub full of those cookies.
It's 8 to 12. It's only on Fridays. It's just a very tiny window. And I told you, with the sickle, she was waiting to get me out of there.
I just have to slow your roll for a minute.
But I had to get her a bag of donuts.
Oh, my God. Why do you leave
sugar.
the beach? God, New Jersey. You are a heaven on earth. And I never thought I would say this to you. Don't show me more food. Oh, my God.
So I got chocolate chip cookies, too. But the chocolate chip cookies that are
that looks
crisp,
really
thin,
good.
with some just amazing chocolate, semi-sweet chocolate chips in there that are to die for. And here's what else I got, which she had no patience for.
Yeah, now we're on to vegetables. Okay,
my husband loves blueberries, so I got him blueberries. But you really could have gotten those at Acme. Did you ever, when you were little, were snap peas always snap peas for you where you ate the whole fucking thing? Because when I was little, we had the thick, super chunky snap peas that we would crack open and eat as kids, eat the peas out of. And my mother would say, like, you should be shelling those and we should be cooking those. And by the time dinner came, we were almost green from having eaten so many of those and did not want to eat that when we came home. But did you have that, or was it always just the thin ones that you just throw in steam?
I'm going to embarrass myself because I don't know the real answer, but I'm going to tell you. when we shell peas, we were not shelling snap peas. We just weren't. Or we were shelling some different variety than has become popularized. Because today's sugar snaps, as we call them.
Yeah, you eat the whole thing.
You just, or even what I like to do is, again, we're back to that crescent shape. I take the knife and slice it straight down from the top seam so that you have two. Okay. So you have two sides. So the pea itself inside is
open
split in
peas.
half. Right. It's either split in half or it's a pea on one side and an empty husk on the other, and I throw that husk away. So it sort of shows you the bones of where the peas are in there and looking so beautiful and delightful and fantastic. It just presents really well in a salad. It's super fussy. It only works with the select kind of peas. It's a little bit like radish tops. Like you can only get, sometimes most of the time the radish tops are super inconsistent. So, I mean, it's the kind of thing where the best and highest grade of produce lets you do this. But I feel like when we were snapping peas, it wasn't about
sugar
and trying to scoop them. Well, it probably was some other variety. And I'm here to tell you, we will get more listener feedback on this pea conversation
than anything else.
And they're going to come at us with such anger and righteous rage. Right?
Brilliant observations
are
at
too
gmail.com.
stupid to know from garden sides. But you know what? I don't.
I don't know which variant that we had growing up, but I fucking love them. And it was good
and would
times.
eat them right now and would do that, sit there with a bowl and do it right now if I could. But there's nowhere who buys it and where can you find it?
That's what I found at the farmer's market. And I cracked them open and she's like, what are you doing? Because at home, I'll take my thumbnail and I'll crack off the end corner
and pull that
both
little string
sides and pull the string and eat the whole fucking thing. But
That's
these
the way,
aren't sweet snap peas like that. These are the shelling peas.
Yes.
Is that a thing? Is really what I'm asking. Is shelling peas
Aren't they
a
like
thing?
flat beans and broad beans and they don't call them peas and God,
occasionally
I just
get
feel
one that's a little
the
sour
weight of Maine coming onto my shoulders as I'm talking. Like I don't even want the words to come out of my mouth because no, I ate cod yesterday and I had like a real problem because I could already feel my friend, like even as I was eating it and bringing the fork to my mouth, I was hearing her in my head going, you know what they do with cod when they finally get the cod? You shouldn't be eating cod.
That's a trash fish.
And I put it in my mouth and I held it there for a minute and I was like, yep, sure is. I'm like, I eat a fucking Snickers bar. I know there's rats in that factory. Like, come on. At a certain point, it's the bargain you make. I'm in. I'm in. I'm here for it.
These peas are the thick ones, and I don't know the difference. I just know that when I saw how big they were, I went to buy the entire green hold, I want to say foam container that they come in. And the woman said, this is a farmer's market. Just shake it into your bag. You can't keep that green foam thing.
Oh, not
kidding?
the foam one. It's like the molded cardboard.
Yeah.
It's like the pint holder for super swanky tomatoes, maybe. They would let you have like a little tiny one. But then they never let you have it because that's New Jersey for you. Because you can get those. They give them out everywhere. Here, take it.
New Jersey also does not let you get plastic bags. They are plastic bag free now, and you have to bring your own everything. And luckily I did, or I'd be shaking them into my pockets.
Yeah, put it in, open your mouth and shake it in. That's it. That's all you get.
And on our way back, because the sickle lady next to me is like, are we done? I'm not carrying that bag,
Okay, so a thought is occurring to me. I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
Right? So this is the farm market located within theoretical walking distance
absolutely
of your beach castle.
Every Friday.
On Friday.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Friday. Fucker. How early do they open?
8 to 12. 4 hours. That's it.
I don't remember what time our flight is on Friday. Fuck. We won't be able to go. I won't get to go. I will
send
I don't want
there to
I don't want any of those things. I want to sit down and old coot myself.
Yeah, you want to talk to the
I want to
Coots.
sit and figure out what the hell did these people pay to have a stall with you guys didn't see it. They have a professionally produced backdrop that they made with art, not just a poster over at Staples, with art. And I mean, somebody put some thought into this.
It's nice too.
This is their summertime job.
Just 4 hours on a Friday, which
I'm trying to say
perfect.
this is some people do marathons. They do old Coots, right? Well, the summer I've got my old Coot people. I've got to
I
go.
give advice.
The kids are waiting, and God, do they need me? Ethel, are we cooting? Yeah.
Oh, Coot on Friday. See you at Coots.
They need to be there more than that.
And on the walk home, I stopped by synagogue there, and I picked up a challah. Challah. Here's how it worked for me. When it's deep chag, when it's a big holiday, you have a challah that is round, right? It's just a round challah. Every other Shabbat, you have a braided challah. They handed me a round challah, and I so much didn't want to engage to say, what holiday am I missing that I don't?
Or worse, to say, y'all don't know your holiday.
Oh, I would never. That's not in my wheelhouse anymore. Maybe when I was 17, I would have said, yeah, that's not the truth, or you're wrong. I'm a grown up now, and I know to approach situations with, I must be off. I'm all caught up. We just built a beach house. I don't know my ass from my elbow. What holiday am I missing with your round challah? I did not engage, and the sickle lady was very happy that we left there when we left there, and she was mad that we stopped on the way home to get challah, but she probably enjoyed eating it just as much.
Thank you.
What is the chicken list?
Okay. So I happened to hear on a group conference call from someone who was sharing a bit about what she had been doing. We were all participating in a professional development exercise. And she was describing how she was claiming a win despite not winning according to the rules that had been set up, right? So she didn't have a typical, it's kind of like, because I'm playing lacrosse with the kids this week, you hear I said that, because we're here traveling with lacrosse.
I wanted to see it.
You can imagine how this thought would occur to me if there were a case where they were defeated roundly, but there were extenuating circumstances, or they did something well, or learned something, or had a breakthrough. You call that a win.
Or maybe
so you lost,
the
but it's a
Electoral
win.
College says that you are not the president, but instead of conceding, you say
in a very practical way. One might call that a W. Yes.
Okay.
For what? So, but yes, one might
you
call
say
that
it was
a
stolen
W.
from you, right?
So back to the car. So this is my brother's phrase. Back to the car. So, I did that last week. All right.
Yeah.
So she was describing this win, and just in blah 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 blah, talking about all the things, she bust out this term that I have stolen and adopted into my life, and it's called the chicken list.
Tell me, I can't wait to use it.
Because she said, all the things I didn't, but you know what? I pulled, I did this other thing, and so I can cross that off my chicken list.
Oh, too afraid to do?
Because
You're too
evidently
chicken to do?
a chicken list is the list of, like, the opposite of a bucket list. Your chicken list is like all the shit that you're supposed to be doing, but you do too scared to do.
We absolutely have our title now, the chicken
list.
And I think you are cracking an egg here of... So I don't really have a bucket list of things I want to do, because then that means you're setting yourself up to just call bucket chicken, because
I have a hard time with, I'm butting in, I have a hard time with bucket list at all, because for me, a bucket list it's the wrong term for it. I just fundamentally can't get my head around the idea of what it means. For me, it's almost like they're opportunities. They're not scary. They're not challenges. I mean, they're things that, I would like an Oscar. That's on my bucket list. That's not because, you know what I'm saying? There's no path to get there. I just want it. I want to, pick lots of things are on the bucket list that opportunities have to occur to make that happen for me. So there's a lot of people treat a bucket list like, I want to go to Greece before I die. Okay, buy a ticket and go. Take out a loan,
right.
mortgage
There's not
your house.
25 steps to get there.
Do a GoFundMe.
Right.
Like, it's the only thing holding you back is you. Like I don't think of it that way, and I probably should, because I'm sure there's. So it's like I'm always inventing these things. Like, wouldn't it be great if? That's my bucket list. Wouldn't it be great if I could try or do this? So, anyways, the chicken list I'm sure is as long as my dick. Actually, 3 times longer, because I don't have a dick, in case you forgot, just from the way I'm talking. Anyway, so chicken list. Do you immediately have chicken list items? You've just heard this concept. Are you already like, I know what I'm doing?
Yeah, I can't swim. Do you want to start there?
You don't put that on a chicken list, do you?
No, because I don't want to swim, but
Ah!
I'm too chicken. I'm too chicken to swim.
Okay, you get captions. That's the header, subhead, chicken list, swimming, period, all. Next bullet point.
Here's my outline of failure. Would anybody like to take a Roman numeral?
Outline of failure.
Well, that's how I see a chicken and a bucket list. What came first, the chicken or the bucket? I mean, it's really all
Step
lists.
1, fail. Yeah.
Step 2, drown.
Chicken list. Well, there's things on my chicken list that are forever going to remain on my chicken list. I guess that's it. So we fundamentally don't know how to do this.
No,
we
don't.
Because you're taking this chicken list and you're doing to it the same thing I'm doing with the bucket list.
It
You're
is
picking
what it
something
is,
that you
Popeye.
will never remove.
Okay.
So you break the list. As opposed to what's
yes.
something that you're nominally scared of doing? Like, I don't see myself bungee jumping ever. I super don't see myself riding a roller coaster ever.
But are those things you want to do? Because your bucket list is things I really want to do before I kick the bucket. That's where that all...
I would like to have run a marathon. I would like to have...
Really?
Well, yeah. Why not? What do you mean?
I don't want that.
The moment has passed. I'm not going to do it. I would like to claim it as an accomplishment.
You can. What are you talking about? What the fuck is stopping you from claiming that as your accomplishment? What? What is it? What's happening? In fact,
the list is now called the liar's list.
What the fuck? From now on, I'm telling people that you did.
This is my list of faux accomplishments.
You know my friend Amy? She ran a marathon.
Oh
what do
God,
you
it's
know?
So great. She even made herself a medal.
Is that what you want?
No. I could more easily make myself a medal than I could tell somebody I ran a marathon and not have done. I would never do that. Are you kidding?
You said I just want to tell people, and I said
right, but I
it.
can't until I've done it. No, you can't lie about stuff.
Oh, okay. What the fuck do you not have 3 sons? You can lie about anything.
No,
what are you talking about?
No.
You don't think people lie about fitness all the time?
Oh, it never occurred to me that they would, but I guess now that you say it, it's likely that happens. But no, I can't lie about something. It's going to eat me up inside until I die. I can't.
Eat me up inside.
I can't. Even when I know it's best for me, even when I have to do it, even when there's all these justifiable reasons why it's got to go down, there's no sleeping. There's no sleeping for me. I can't. I will tell somebody and I will make it right and I will punish myself until it's right. Like, even if the lie is never undone and never told, I'll figure out some way where karmically I get boned over it. Like, I can't lie. I just can't. Not in that way. And I can't abide people who lie to me, which coincidentally may be why I attract so many fucking liars who want to come to me and tell me lies. Because I always believe people are telling the truth. Always. Even when it's the most outlandish bullshit.
Your opinion, once lost, is lost forever?
Sadly, Mr. Darcy, I hate to agree. Oh, dear. I cannot tease you about that.
And I sure love to laugh. It's a family trait.
Yes, it is. Oh, Beth Dutton.
Yes, Beth.
You raging bitch. We are simpatico.
Yes, you fucking bitch. It is a family trait. I say
Charles,
everything is on my
serious.
chicken list. Nothing is on my bucket list.
No,
and
put something. And from now
on, I'm telling people that you ran a marathon.
You better not.
I am.
You super better not, because then they're going to look at me and say, "What happened?"
Yeah, back
and then
in
I'll
her
have to
day.
wear my shirt that says "Retired Hot Girl," and they'll say "Very retired." I'll have to go sit at the old Coots booth.
Oh, the Coots. Everything comes back to the Coots. I'm telling you.
I want 2 items on your chicken list.
Yeah.
That are reasonable and accomplishable. Things that have a low level of fear. Let's imagine that fear is a hurdle. Set the bar so low that you could trip over it. That's one of my mantras, right? So if the bar is so low you could trip over it, what if the bar was knee high? Takes a little effort to get over it, but you can get over a knee high bar. So what's something at knee height? That's what goes on the chicken list. Things that are at neck height, things that are at above the fingertips over your head height, These are for fuckers. We're not. Fuck you.
We're not running that marathon.
No.
All right, I have one.
That's
one.
the goblin list or some other name that's more clever that we'll come up with later. Fuck you list is what that's called. That's the I'm not doing it. That's the Nunya bit. That's the Nunya list. Shut up.
The Nunya list is my bucket list and chicken list as well. Like they're all the same. But if I had
give me
to
one
pick
thing. Give me one thing. And it's not like I have one, so I know it's hard to get your
Yeah.
mind going into what am I afraid of and willing to say publicly that I will now overcome. That is meaningless
That
and
I'm
easy
still-
for me to do.
that I'm just going. It's so funny how you think I'm going to overcome it but
Well,
why?
of
You
course you-
cheer me on, or a dear listener writes in and says, "You got this." Like,
No, I don't think that you're going to overcome it in that way. Here's what I mean. If there's something reasonable that you could stretch yourself, if given the right opportunity, it's helpful to name it and claim it and to just sort of put it out there and be thinking about it. It's one more way that you're able to stretch and live and enjoy life and have the accomplishment
yeah,
of doing the thing that you felt you couldn't do, because once you accomplish the thing
took
that you
that
couldn't
weighted
do,
blanket off.
once you do the thing that your mind had been telling you can't, it levels you up in terms of look at the freedom I have, look at the power I have, look at the possibilities in my life, because this thing think of it this way. I'll put it into terms that I certainly can understand. There are 9 million things on my to-do list, right? I might do one of them this month, and if I do, when it takes 6 minutes to complete, it probably was on my to-do list for 19 years.
Yeah.
And I would lay in bed wringing my hands about it. And then when you fucking do it, you're like, why did I waste all that time not doing this and trying to figure out? It's like, it's fast. Do it. Get it over with. And now that it's done, oh, look, I can do hard things. I can step over a knee-high obstacle. That's all that this is intended to do. And prove to you that the world maybe isn't really that scary, because we both know it's scary the fuck enough. We don't also have to be scared of like parrots and I don't know what else is making us frightened.
First of all, parrots are terrifying. That's a terrible example.
I don't know why I picked
Birds-
something that you're naturally afraid of.
Birds are horrifying. Shut your mouth. You never know. Take flight. Nope. And when they talk to you, fuck that. I'm all out.
Yeah, it's a little bit satanic.
I have a
gotta go.
project that I can take a bite out of and do and work on and feel good about that I don't, that I put off. But every once in a while it slips into my speech. Dear listener, do you have something that's on your chicken list that if you're afraid, if you speak into words, you'll have to, I don't know, do or make progress towards? Please let us know what it is. Let us be your partner in chicken listing.
Hey.
Like
Sounds
it's
gross.
a house. No, chicken listing.
No, it sounds good. Chicken listing's great.
Chicken listings, great. Brilliantobservations@gmail.com. Go on to Facebook and post in there and say, Melissa and Amy, I have wanted to clear out the flower beds in my house, but I haven't done it. I can't motivate to do it. And once it's out there, the weather is telling you it's time to scoop that shit out, find all those dead animals, clear it out, and start over. Line your beds, friend. This might be your sign to take one thing off your chicken list. Let us know what it is.
I've got one.
Oh.
Because the whole thing about the chicken list
Yeah.
started as a professional exercise. There are things that you don't want to do in business because you're frightened to do it, typically as an entrepreneur. And so that's a whole nother show. Not even going to get into it. But that's really where it originated. It makes a lot of sense in that context. In your personal life, I perceive that I'm not really held back by fear, or the fear is rational and also includes some evidence that, yeah, maybe don't jump out of a plane without
Or
a parachute.
pain. Or actual
Yeah,
pain.
yeah. It's like
right.
what? So it's a very different concept. Until this one popped into my head. There is no universe where I'm wearing a bikini, and I think that's a public service. But in the great state of Lizzo, I maybe should say, on the chicken list is wear a bikini in public, because it's a piece of clothing. My body is my body. People can see it. The only one who thinks it looks different or is surprised by it is me, because the few times that I get to look at it, I'm like, what? I thought you looked very different and a lot better. And now I see this and I'm thinking, were you like that the whole time? So I feel like bikini, like wearing a slinky dress, wearing a piece of clothing is a good chicken list. Like, would you wear a Deborah Messing down to the waist, tits out style dress, or whoever the person is of this moment?
Can I wear Spanx underneath it to hold in my
It's your chicken list. What are you afraid to do? Is there a
afraid-
dress that you would be afraid to wear?
No.
Wear that dress. No?
No,
Share?
No, I
No
would wear
share?
anything.
There's not a dress you would be afraid to wear.
As long as I can cover my
call
middle giblets, I'd
bullshit.
be
Nope.
happy to.
Okay, wear one of those dresses with the weird side triangles cut out
I'm wearing that for my birthday party.
that ties in your stomach. You know what I mean? The knot covers your stomach, and then your midriff is somehow out in your back. It's like two disconnect. It's like a bikini dress, except there's a center knot.
That
You
makes
know what
no
I'm
sense.
saying?
Yeah,
You
but
know what I'm saying?
but
I say you know what I'm saying, and you immediately say that makes no sense.
that makes no sense.
All right, I'm
You get
right.
me. No, I don't.
I'm right. Let's just leave it at that. I'm correct.
I usually leave it at that and am always shocked by what happens next. Okay, is there something that you do not do the proper way and you don't give a fuck? You never will.
Well, I mean, how much time do you have? Yeah, of course. Typically, yeah. Why not? Rules are for suckers.
Slowing down at a stop sign and rolling through.
No, a lot of times I'll stop.
A lot of times I'll stop.
Let me say that another way. Let me say that another way. I come to a full and complete stop when I
Every
drive.
time.
Sure. Yep. Every
Okay.
time. Yep. When there are
Somebody
kids in
said-
the car, yes.
When somebody said, "Oh, I eat cereal without milk." And I'm like, "Well, you're a serial killer, but other than that,
I think that's okay. I think
It
eating
is
cereal
okay.
with water
no.
is a crime.
No. Apple
Right.
juice? No.
Yeah, orange juice, all these freaks. No, you're not allowed to do that kind
I
of
think
stuff.
he meant that he ate it just dry as
That's,
opposed
I
to
mean,
with
that's
the wrong
like a lot of
liquid.
I know a lot of kids that do that too, so I think we're okay there. I have a big one, which everybody already knows, but I will repeat it for you. I type. I have developed my own method of typing. You know this.
I do.
So I have mentioned it before. So I taught myself to type on a manual typewriter when I was very young, and I did it in this very unusual manner because I was like, we're going to figure this out instead of, I don't know, learning how to do it properly. And I got really good at it because I like to use typewriters and computers now to communicate. So I type very, very quickly, but it's erratic, and I look like a crazy person because it bears no resemblance to QWERTY or whatever the actual version is that you're supposed to be using. It's an incredibly rapid version of Hunt and Peck. And I don't look at the keyboard. Like it's
You're a
very
pecker.
strange.
All right.
I am a pecker. And
You're
if
a
that's not
pecker.
the show title. So I do it completely improperly, and there's no fixing it. And it would be so awful to try to get myself ergonomically correct in this case. I'm just going to have to keep going forward.
I feel like in this episode we're asking for a lot of listener feedback, but I do want to hear something you guys do that is wrong or not in the appropriate way. And you don't give a fuck. It works. Tying your shoes, bunny ear, turn around, or do you do it the teacher way to save yourself? Not turn around physically, but turn them
No,
around.
I'm made these big eyeballs because you're reminding me of this shoe-based problem. All right?
Go ahead.
So my son lost his marbles
Happens.
because we were all leaving the room together, and I happened to be putting on my sneakers to go out. I put on a sock. I put on a sneaker.
Oh.
I started to put on my other sock,
You do it wrong.
and he started screaming. And he couldn't abide when it was this ongoing nightmare. And I didn't do it to make a point. It's not my normal habit. I don't have a habit. I did it because the way the chair was situated, there wasn't really enough room for me to be moving all my stuff around. So the foot that was out in the room, I did that whole foot first. And he immediately starts coming up with these doomsday scenarios like, what happens if somebody knocks on the door? What are you going to do now? And I'm like,
I would have been better with two socks.
said I number one, who gonna knock on this door? We're in a hotel. Number two, I'm not answering the fucking door. And number three, if I had to get there, I'd say, wait a minute while I put my shoe on. Or number four, yeah, I might hop over there. Can't you hop? Like the whole thing, his mind had exploded all over the place because according to him, it must be sock, sock, shoe, shoe. There is no universe where it can be sock, shoe, sock, shoe. And
Well,
I'm
you
like,
just described the perfect universe for sock shoe, so I don't think you're a sociopath because of that. But it is sock, shoe, shoe.
well, but then it gets into this whole thing where I wasn't even aware that I was violating protocol because it's just not that important to me. And I further don't really have a toothbrush protocol where you must brush before the shower or you must only brush after the shower. Like what camp are you in? I don't have one of those camps.
We are just grateful that you are not stealing, as in noted in previous episodes, our toothbrush and using that one. Because...
I'm using everybody else's toothbrush this whole trip. I haven't unpacked mine yet, but I'm just trying to say,
shit.
Look, we get multiple hotels, and come on, it's out there.
Oh my God!
I make out with him anyway. I mean, honestly, I'm only using my husband's. He doesn't listen, so he doesn't know. He probably knows because it's wet.
I'm gonna have to tell him.
Look. It's not like I'm going to the concierge and saying, "May I use your toothbrush, please, that you used yourself this morning?" I mean, it's my husband. I'm sleeping in the bed with him. Our mouths have touched more than once. I'm just trying to say, get back to topic. Do you brush your teeth before you get in the shower? Always? Or after you get out of the shower? Always?
Wow. I brush my teeth first thing, so before shower. And some days there is no shower. So it's before workout, before coffee, before, I don't know, green drink in the morning. First thing is brush teeth. Otherwise, I'm barely human. But I also have to wash my face. That's more of do you wash your face in the shower or before the shower?
Right. And I have no protocol for this.
It's okay
whatever's
not to have
happening.
A protocol.
But everyone wants to say like they're use this as an example of ingrained habits, things that your body does, and it feels like if you hold hands with somebody or hold your own fingers laced together, it only feels correct in one way, with one finger on top, and then you put them the other way, and it feels wrong. Like your body has internalized toothbrushing timing and things like this. For me, it's just coffee. That's the only thing that feels ritualized, nothing else. The whole world is fucking chaos.
I am grateful that these are the topics that you guys are discussing at lacrosse, because I know that when you are put into a situation like that in the Gen Pop with all of these different humans, types of people from all over, or even your area that don't necessarily share your values, and a lot of hot topics going on, decisions flying out of SCOTUS like so fast you can't even, it's a meteor shower in your face. Every 30 minutes there's a new decision, so that you're sitting there as you lose reproductive rights, guns are concealed now anywhere. Like, it's crazy what's it's not really brushing your teeth if you don't do it before or after. So I'm thrilled that you're not weighted down by the heaviness of what is happening in this country right now, and you are weighted down with the propriety of toothbrushing, sock and shoe wearing. And I think I could go on a trip now with you, because as long as I'm not going to be with people who share their comments not on a cute t-shirt, then I'm done. I can't be a part of it.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. We have we have the full breadth of spectrum of views, and we have the full breadth of spectrum of professions. So we have all the way from people who are, prosecutors and they absolutely can't have any opinion on things and can't discuss by virtue, or people who are high up corporate, this or that or the other, and they're sort of prevented from talking. And we have physicians, and we have all the way down to, not down, all the way on the other end of the spectrum, people who own their own thing and or work in such a way where their occupation has whatever they say is all fair game, right? And they put it out there all over their cars so that everybody knows exactly who they are. And in truth, I was more saddened to realize that in this dominant male traveling party, there are plenty of women here, but it's predominantly, if there's a one parent coming with a child, 80% of the time it's the dad coming. It's not the mom coming. Sometimes. Okay. So there really wasn't a heavy weight. There really wasn't shoulders down. There really wasn't on Friday, the travel day, when the largest of the many Supreme Court
disappointments came out.
Reversals, of which there are many, right? So that we're all experiencing, oh, that's new. So on Friday, when this was going down and we were all gathering, I was having a hard time keeping myself together because it affected me on so many levels, uniquely and individually. And it made me really sad that so many in our number weren't visibly affected, when in fact they are affected, but they just weren't. And it took until Sunday to hear a cluster of dudes talking just as dudes about the recent reversals and talking about it in the context of, yeah, but do you realize what this means? So, I mean, it was really frustrating to me to be at least on the outskirts of a community where it was, I don't want to say it was okay not to talk about it. I want to say it didn't demand that we talk about it. It wasn't the thing that no one could escape. So that way I was kind of sad. We had so many competing topics that were banned and controversial and focus pulling. The many reversals got shuffled lower on the list, and they keep coming. The hits keep coming. Every day that I'm today, we're getting ready. We're recording as I'm on the road. We're recording on a different day. We're trying to do things all over the place. Now we're going to have more, breaking news happening. We are in a wildly tumultuous period, and it bears repeating that for all of the heartbreaking reversals that every citizen is living through in the United States right now, you and I are positioned at one of the edges where these decisions affect us the least. Everyone is affected across the board, but then when you want to look at the amount of harm, we are buffered in the harm that it's going to bring to us. So I have to keep reminding myself that gives me the responsibility to work hard and to be the person who has the 40 cents to pay for the diapers when the man forgets the wallet, right? So that's where the challenge is, and I want to be efficient and smart and powerful with my time, and that's why I'm choosing not to take to the streets. As important as that is, it's not what I am moving to a different phase of my engagement, and so I'm not going to be spending time doing that. I'm going to be spending time actively writing checks and moving power brokers to install people who treat all citizens with the same level of rights. That's my goal. So that's where I am. And if you are out in the street waving a banner, I'm so excited. If you're getting, knocked down, I hate it for you, and I'm scared for you, and I love it. I love that people.
We did that too, of that, by the way. We did that
for
too.
many years.
Yeah.
For many years, including last one. I mean.
Oh, I remember. I was there with you, arm in arm. But I have to tell you, we've been doing it our whole lives. When I was younger, there were Jews that were kept in the Soviet Union against applying to leave the country, and they were refuseniks. They were refused access of departure and visas, and we wrote letters to them so the government knew. Like, there was always a cause. It was animals. It was people. It is. I mean, they have that phrase. They came for the gypsies, and I didn't say anything. And they came. Well, guess what? They are all here for you right now, and I will stand with you, even though you have made it clear that with our privilege comes the ability to abort, to hide, we are less touched by, but just as infuriated by these issues, and we will do it differently. My daughter and her friends are looking for places to march, and I think that's fantastic. Please, as I learned from my friend Brian, head on a swivel. Just keep your head on a fucking swivel, because you need to know what's around you. But I'm not encouraging her to stay home. Like, this is how she can't.
No,
I
would never encourage someone to stay home. I have limited capacity, and I'm managing how I can engage with this without plunging into despair. And so I need all of my efforts to be the most efficient. And by efficient, I mean I'm looking for systemic change. And I see that as happening by installing, by using the playbook that got us where we are, which is generationally installing people who are far closer to a balanced approach. I'm not even trying to swing things completely the other way. I'm just looking for balanced. To me, it comes down to, and this comes from lacrosse again, we have been on a landslide loss before, and we are frequently on a landslide victory. And that means those landslide losses change the way that I behave on a landslide victory, because I remember how it feels to have double digits on the scoreboard and us with 1 or 0. And it's demoralizing. It's defeating.
It's painful.
It leads to bad behavior. Nothing good comes of it. So having respect on both sides. So I always ask the question, okay, if this, what's the thing that I'm trying to get out of this decision or this ruling, right? And now let's presume that it goes exactly the way I wanted. Now give all of that to the other guy. It's cutting the peanut butter sandwich, right? One of you gets the 2 kids. One of you gets to decide where we cut it, and the other one gets to choose which side they take. So if you cut it and it's unbalanced and somebody else gets the unbalanced part, you just fuck yourself. So, I mean, that's what I mean by keeping things balanced. But you know how this world works.
I do, unfortunately. And I want to share something this week that made me laugh out loud, because so many things made me cry this week. And there's a podcast, friends of ours, who it's actually John. John did the editing, our former editor, for this.
John Buchanan. Buchanan.
He did editing for them as well. He has a relationship with one of the hosts. It's I Shake My Head podcast. And one of the hosts said, I have a new mantra. And I listened to it as I scrolled by on Instagram, and I wet my pants that I laughed so
It wasn't just
hard.
a mantra. It was a way of simplifying her morning routine, right? Melissa's losing her brain again. She's simplifying her morning routine. She went through this whole thing about, look, I'm just running out of time, guys. I have too many things on me. I don't know how I'm going to get it all done. I have to cut some corners. I've got to make sure that things are going the way I need them to go. So
She sets herself up every morning by looking in the mirror. I can't.
you're going to have to. You got to find it. You got to dig deep.
By looking in the mirror at herself and saying, who's a good girl? Who's a pretty girl? Who's a pretty girl?
Who's a pretty girl? Who's a pretty girl? Who's a pretty girl?
Yeah, dear listener, I want this for you. I
That's
want
right.
this simplicity. I want this keen understanding of how to motivate, how to set on fire, how to initiate your day. Who's a pretty girl?
And
You
it's
don't
not
have to
even
be
a
girl.
lie. And it's not even a lie. You are a pretty girl. You
don't even have to be a girl. You can you can say it. It works. It is powerful. Be positive. Start your day well. It can only go downhill from there.
I will try it with my sons. Who's a pretty girl? Who's a pretty girl?
I think they'll
Let's see
like
what they
it.
say. I think they will.
I want you to report back.
I will.
Dear listener, I asked you for so much this episode. I kind of feel guilty, but I think you can do it. I think you can easily go to brilliantobservations@gmail.com. You can go to Facebook, where everybody is, either Brilliant Observations or Brill Ob Squad, or go to Instagram, where the rest of the world is waiting for you, and find us at Listen Brilliant and tell us something you do wrong, but you don't care. You're doubling down anyway. Tell us something on your chicken list, because I think I'm going to rise to this occasion. It takes a lot to make me rise.
That's not true. We've got to flesh out this chicken list, because what it also bakes in is the idea that there are more levels to achieve and accomplish. And that's what I want for you, dear listener. I want you to look at where you are in your life and realize there are rooms and rooms and whole worlds beyond where you are. And all you need to do is step into those rooms, and then a bigger one opens to you. So the chicken list is a fun way to get there, right? What's a small challenge that I could do? And start super low. Set the bar so low you could trip over it.
That's my
right.
doable
What am I afraid to
doses.
do? I'm afraid to eat salmon. Okay, so now I'm going to eat salmon. Why are you making a fucking face?
Why are
Salmon
you
is
afraid?
disgusting.
You cannot like it, but why are you afraid to eat it? That's a
Well, I choose not to.
Okay.
And why? Okay, well, why? If I had that in front of
You
my
don't like
kid,
the
I would
taste
say
of it.
because it's gross. Well, I've never actually had it, but I know that it's gross already.
Oh my God.
You can smell it and know it's gross. I don't have to
Thank
eat
you
garbage.
so much for listening.
I don't
We
have to
love
eat
you
garbage
so
to know
much.
garbage is gross. Why are you busting on my chicken list? Look I don't see you wearing a bikini. You didn't even.
I
You
won't.
you danced right past it. Yes, you will. Chicken
I
list.
won't,
Why not?
because I'm sensitive about parts.
Oh, for fuck's
I don't think all my parts should be visible to the sun or the human eye.
sake. Okay.
There's
All
a
right.
reason for ruching
Okay.
and draping. There's
All
a
right.
reason for it.
I feel like we may need more than the remaining 2 minutes of this show
I look
to-
better with
to
mystery.
pull that can of tuna open. Okay, got
Mystery.
it.
I like the mystery of it. Isn't it sexier to wear lingerie than it is to be naked.
It depends on how you wear it. No, yeah, I agree. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so
okay,
some
yeah.
mystery. And I mean, Melissa could have a flap of gross under there, or she could be hot. Like, it could go either way. I like the mystery.
The flap. Gross.
Well, what do you call
Who's
it?
a pretty girl? Who's a pretty girl? That's
I'm
what
a
I call
pretty
it.
girl.
That's right. Believe it. Believe it. Trip over that bar. I believe it.
I love that. I love a good low bar. Thank you for listening.
Oh, check please. Bye.